This is our second episode of At Home with the Warriors, and we're joined with Jesse, who runs our Warrior Recreation Instagram. Obviously a student. Tell us what program you're in, what year, and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I actually just graduated. I just finished 5 years of kin at Waterloo with a minor in human nutrition. And I started in athletics last summer as Stacey's co-op as the conditioning assistant. So I was up at SIF for the summer, and then that kind of rolled into my social media role with athletics. And then I stayed on as a personal trainer. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. That's awesome. How's everything going? What's your living situation? You living with anyone? You're at home?
Yeah, so I'm from London. So I made the move from Waterloo to London last week. I was in a kind of like a quarantine with my roommates just for a little bit, just to make sure none of us were feeling unwell. I obviously didn't want to get my parents sick in case I did pick up something. So I moved home late last week. And then since then I've just been home. So I live here with my mom, my dad, my brother, and our new puppy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and where'd you say home is again?
London.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you just graduated, so obviously a little disappointed that you can't convocate this summer, spring. But what's keeping you busy at home right now during all this social distancing time?
All this stuff. Yeah. No, I was definitely a bit of like a shock at first to not get to like convocate and graduate the way that I thought. However, obviously it was necessary. This is huge and it's never happened before. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really lucky right now. My family just got a puppy early February, and her name is Haley. She's a 5-month-old golden doodle, and she keeps me so busy. It's like constant all the time. It's a great way to get exercise because I walk her like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's been a great way to spend time with family. I mean, my brother is a Waterloo graduate, but we haven't lived at home together since like it was like 8 years ago. So it's been a lot of fun with him. And yeah, I guess being always in co-op, I haven't lived at home in a really long time. So I'm super grateful for the time with my dad and my mom. That's been really, really nice. So just a lot of family time, a lot of puppy time. Yeah, it's been really nice. And I'm actually training for a half marathon right now too, which is great. And I've never done one. So stay tuned. I'm a little scared, probably more scared right now than I am excited, but we'll get there. So that's been keeping me busy too. It gets me outside, which is great. So
cool. And when's that?
It's at the end of May. Now the actual event was canceled.
Okay.
But they gave us the option to run it virtually. So
Nice.
You run it on your own, and then you just upload your results later, which I'm also totally fine with. It gives me something to do, something like a goal to set and work towards, which keeps me going when I'm at home a lot. So
are you bringing Haley with you on your runs, or is it still too young for that?
Well, today I got so bored because I was walking her, and I've walked her so much in the past little bit that I just got so bored. I was like, I might as well get some of my run in now. So I kind of like ran halfway around the neighborhood, and then there was a big hill, so I got tired and then stopped. But made it halfway with her. I don't know if she would make the full half marathon, the whole 21K, but probably with her energy levels, she would.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool. Great. So tell us all about the awesome things that you're doing with Warrior Rec Instagram. Obviously the online workouts, the virtual Warrior of the Week. Tell us some of those highlights.
Yeah. So Waterloo Rec, we're super lucky to have it because it's a platform. It's an educational platform where we publish information and resources to promote wellness for our community. I feel really lucky to be a part of it for that sense. And wellness as a whole, it's a pretty broad term because to me, what wellness means is it means the ability to feel good about yourself, either physically, mentally, emotionally, and that looks different for everybody. So the nice thing about platforms like Instagram and the nice thing about Waterloo Rec is that we can use it for so many different things. And this has been a time, definitely, like as a content group, I work on a team of 3, myself, Stacey, Sarah, and Caitlin did a lot of work for us too. We have worked together to brainstorm a bunch of different ideas to try and keep people motivated during this time and set a bunch of goals for themselves or like those goals may be different depending on the person. Some people just feel that they need to use this time to just relax, and we have content for that. We publish weekly articles that relate anything from the importance of rest, the importance, or maybe how to run, like running 101. So those are kind of different things that we look at, and we consider when building content and when we build a page. So yeah, we do our weekly articles. We've got our weekly workouts, which are our daily workouts, I should say. We do 3 times a day, which has been great. And again, we really like to find instructors, and we're so lucky to have a great diverse group of instructors who teach different classes. And it runs anything, again, from de-stress yoga right through to warrior workouts and HIIT classes. And we really try to cater to everybody, because everybody's goals are different during this time. And we want to acknowledge that that's completely okay. Like, this is a time right now where we've never experienced this. And I think to come together in a way that we support each other in whatever way we can is super important. We also, we've been doing our weekly challenges too. So those are our virtual warrior of the week. So for the past month or so, we've been lucky enough to partner with True Local. And if participants decide to share what they've been up to on their Instagram stories and tag us, then they're entered to win this great True Local box. It's full of local fresh meats, and it's wonderful. And we're super lucky to have that. And then this week we're changing it up a little bit. I don't know if you've seen any of like the TikTok challenges, or like the ones with like the 10 push-ups, or like the
I've seen glimpses of them.
challenges.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing that from kind of to change things up and to help people with their goals and to find new things to do, because that's definitely a big challenge right now, is to keep us like entertained. So and then we're just really lucky to have such a diverse group of people working on such a wide range of content, because that's what we want to do. We want to support everybody in our community in the best way possible, especially during like an uncertain time, right?
Yeah, for sure. What do you say to someone who doesn't, want to really get up and be part of an online workout, or what are some tips for them to kind of stay, de-stress and to stay sane during all of this?
Yeah, for sure. So part of wellness is not necessarily exercise in its like sort of stereotypical form. So a lot of people, when they think exercise and movement, it means they need to commit themselves to a 20-minute HIIT class, or a 20-minute set of really, really intense weight working, like kind of a variety of different things that could be getting your heart rate up. A lot of people believe that, and it's not actually necessarily the case. So even we do always say that, like, try and move your body as best in the best way possible. Even just a 5-minute stretch, I would say at first, like when you first wake up out of bed, just get up and try and even just roll your neck back and forth and start there. And then maybe the next day, start by doing some hamstring stretches and sit on the ground and maybe stretch out your back a little bit, and then gradually work your way up and maybe start going out for a 5-minute walk even. I know a lot of people are working from home, and that can be really tough, because like juggling, now that you're at home, it's a whole other scenario. You're juggling kind of the distractions of home life too, especially those with kids. And we always say, try and take even just a 5-minute walk break with your kids. Take them outside, sit outside if you want to. And so we try to take baby steps depending on where you are, is what we say. And it's tough because everybody is in a different scenario. But I would say always, if someone's hesitant, then just do what's best for you and what you feel is right. Again, as such an educational platform, we really try and put out informative kind of information, but we also say it works to the extent that you want it to work. It works only if that's what you're feeling. So I always just say it first to people, and we have had people kind of say, I'm nervous about this, and it's just kind of like, take it at your own pace. You don't need to be accomplishing these massively huge exercise fitness goals during this time. It's kind of more about taking care of yourself and responding to what your body needs in the moment. If that's just a quick stretch, then that's totally fine. So that's usually what we like to say.
For you personally, if you just could pick one thing that keeps you sane from day to day, what is it for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I would say, especially recently, it's definitely been the running and the training for the half marathon. Cool. I've always said, because I have definitely struggled with some anxiety in the past, I've always said that it's literally pounding the pavement helps me burn some stress, and it helps it kind of just not seem like such a big problem as it is, and helps me clear my head. So for me personally, it's definitely the running, 1,000%.
Nice. What about sleep? Obviously, sleep is pretty key during all of this.
Mhm.
Probably a lot of people are probably losing a lot of sleep over the stress of this, but maybe some others are getting more sleep because they don't have as much on the plate and on the go.
Mhm.
So talk about the importance of sleep and give it too much or too little, and what's the kind of is there a magic number, or is it just getting what you need?
Yeah, for sure. So again, we've published a few different types of articles and stuff on sleep, and we've encouraged people to look into it. Generally, the idea is you want between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. That's just for your own. Again, it goes back to physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Your hormones are in balance. Your neurotransmitters are in balance. Your brain knows how to function within those hours. Anything more than that can also create maybe some feelings of not feeling so motivated, and maybe not feeling like if you sleep in really late, you're losing part of the day. However, it again, some people do require a little bit less sleep or a little bit more sleep than others. I would generally say between 7 to 9, based on the research that I've read. But that again, like we are adjusting to home life. So if that's a little bit more difficult for you to get that much sleep, then even just like taking little breaks throughout the day would help as well. So when I throughout the year, when I would do a little bit of personal training and chat with a few people, they would always say, I can't, like I'm in school, I'm so busy, I can't get the sleep. And I would
Right.
recommend that they just take mental breaks, like a good way. And I heard this actually from an optometrist recently. And they said, if you can't get enough sleep and you're on a computer all day and you feel like you're just not, like you're really exhausted, and if you're too busy, then every 20 minutes that you have on the screen, just look up at a distance of about 20 feet for like 5 seconds. And for some reason, apparently this is supposed to really, really help you. And so there's a bunch of tips and tricks that you can use like that if you can't get enough sleep. And if you again like get too much, then a good idea is to start setting a routine for yourself. So that would be like setting an alarm, the same alarm every day, for like at 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever time you wake up. Again, it kind of depends on what time you go to bed too, but making sure that you try your best to make the most of the day, as well. So yeah, I would say somewhere between 7 and 9 is probably ideal.
And I've seen some kind of articles about consuming all the news we're consuming, all, there's a lot of bad news coming your way, and that probably is taking away some of our sleep because we're thinking about that. So,
Yeah,
and I'm guilty of that as well. Just
yeah,
looking at the stats and figures, or are we flattening
it's
the curve and
hard.
stuff, right? So it's
Yeah.
hard. So I think an important part of that is just turn your phone off,
Mhm.
go for a
Mhm.
walk, read a book, right?
For sure, for sure. And I think the big thing, is like, and we hear this all the time. It's like an hour before bed, turn off your phone.
Yeah,
A lot of the time, like who really does that?
right.
Again, there's a great book, and we actually last week's article was featured on it. It's called Creating Atomic Habits, and it's a book by James Clear, and he does a phenomenal job at explaining the power of 1%. And basically what that means is if you take 1% of your goal, so if your goal was to read an hour before you went to bed, is to take 1% of that and just kind of build it up very slowly, and work towards it. So even start with like 5 minutes of not having your phone on and read a book,
Exactly.
and then slowly work up to 10 minutes. So for sure, like, and that's the other thing too, is that habits right now, and when it comes to the news, like it's so easy to fall into it, right? And it's not helpful. It can be really negative, if you read too much of it, and that can definitely affect your sleep. Like I, even during the day, like not even before bed, I try to stay away from the news. Like it's
Yeah.
just sometimes just too much.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. There's so much to consume right now, and
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
know what's true and what's not. So it
yeah,
can make your head spin a little.
yeah, definitely tough.
What about nutrition? Talk about, what's key. And I mean, everything is so accessible to us at home with snacking and
Hmm.
eating whatever's available.
Yeah.
Talk about a little bit of that and making sure we're still keeping a healthy diet while at home.
Healthy diet. Yeah, for sure. I would say right now it's about, because a lot of us are trying to limit the amount of times you're going to the store. It's about like stocking up on healthy snacks. So again, when you go out every week, making sure you have lots of fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and things like that. I don't think there's a problem really with like taking the occasional snack. Like I especially being at home, I am totally a snack girl. I
During a pandemic.
love to have a good, yeah, honestly, I'm constantly snacking. But I really do try and choose healthy foods. Ultimately, those decisions are up to you. So the way that I usually structure my day in terms of eating is very similar to how I would like at work or at school. And that just because we're at home, it doesn't mean we need to be eating any more or any less. It's completely okay to have food for both health and for enjoyment. And so I think it's really important. Again, it's finding that balance between, okay, yeah, in the mornings I'm eating like oatmeal, and then my snack is some carrots and hummus, and then I have a salad for lunch and chicken and rice for dinner. But it's also okay to, of course, like have that piece of cheesecake that's staring you in the face, like
Right.
completely fine.
Yeah.
And so I think it, especially right now, it's super important to do what you can to eat your fruits and vegetables, but also acknowledge that like, yeah, this is a weird time, and that's completely okay. Like,
Yeah.
like if you want to enjoy something and that involves food, then go for it. And so I think that really helps with emotional and mental wellness as well. And that in combination with exercise just creates a balanced diet that works really well cohesively. So
Sure.
yeah.
Do you like to cook? Any go-to recipes
Oh
or?
my gosh, I'm a really bad cook. I'm a really awful cook.
Me too.
So fun fact, last night I tried cooking dinner for my family for like the first time ever. I'm an awful cook. I undercook pasta, I burn water, I'm awful. Last night I made a pork tenderloin in a slow cooker, which is like the first meal I've ever done for my family. And it like absolutely got totally dry and burned. Like it was,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was a hit.
no, it was not a hit. But however, I'm grateful because my brother and my dad are great cooks, and my mom is too.
Oh,
So
there you go.
so
So you're in the right spot for that.
I'm in the right house. I'm
Yeah.
in the right house for sure.
Good.
But yeah, we do in terms of recipes and stuff. Again, we try and like get like a good helping of vegetables in. Again, my mom is like super into going out and buying all these fresh veggies, so super lucky to have that.
Nice.
And yeah, so we try and do some sort of like noodle and vegetable and chicken. It's just all good what they make. I just can't cook. I'm awful at it.
That's hilarious.
However, it doesn't mean you can't get better.
So what, yeah, exactly. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Depending on how long we stay in this social.
Yeah. Oh God, we'll see.
What, so obviously your career path is not going to be chef. What are some,
Yeah, no.
what are some future aspirations for you in terms of career?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm really, really happy to be starting a master's of kinesiology at Laurier in the fall.
Nice.
So excited about it. I'll be working in physiology and exercise metabolism
And
with
you'll still be wearing
nutrition.
your black and gold, right?
Oh yeah, obviously. I'll for sure wear my black and gold. I won't go purple and gold. Not a
Nice.
trigger.
That's what
But yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to focus in nutrition. So
cool.
so right now, my supervisor and I are looking at studying appetite regulating hormones and female sex hormones. So
Nice.
and like the interaction, and so the menstrual cycle basically, and how that affects appetite, which is such a cool field. And I think the more we're kind of getting into exercise metabolism, the more we're learning about females and how their cycles like differ and affects exercise, and it also affects appetite. So it's so understudied, and I'm so beyond excited, and I absolutely cannot wait. Like I have been so lucky to have had such an amazing education through Waterloo, and now I'm like beyond stoked to continue that. So in the long term, I have no clue what I do. I could see like I did some personal training and some strength and conditioning coach with Stacy and Andrew Hoff this year, which was phenomenal, and I'm so grateful for it. And it was such a cool thing, and I'd love to take that and combine it with nutrition. Like that would be awesome. Would love that, but who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Your whole life ahead of you, so you're good. You're set.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Only 23, right?
Exactly. You got lots of time. I guess just basically your last question is, what's the first thing you're really looking forward to once social distancing and is lifted? Is it just a hug, going to the mall, going out for dinner? What would be your go-to first thing that you want to do when we come out of
My
this?
my go-to thing. Oh my gosh. See, I think I am immediately my best friend Hannah is in London with me for the first time like ever. I'm gonna just like go give her a big hug. And her dad is working on the front lines as a healthcare worker right now. And I just
Cool.
like I worry about her and I'm gonna go give her a hug and I
Cool.
cannot wait. And everybody else for that matter, everybody, every
Oh,
friend, every loved one, like everybody, I'm really excited.
I know.
I'm excited to have not only like the impact that we have and have this control over our future, but also like to see like our hard work in a sense like pay off in that way. So
Mhm.
I'm really, yeah, I can't wait to hug her.
Totally. As easy, as convenient as a Zoom chat is, I won't be tired of, sorry, I won't be angry when I don't have to scream into a laptop anymore, right?
I know. I know. Sometimes the Zoom calls just like I glitch out and yeah, I know. I'm so excited. So it'll be in definitely something I'm most looking forward to. And even just like going to the park and getting to like let my puppy play with other dogs. Like
Exactly.
that's gonna be great too. Cause it just always is happy, always wants to say hello. But right
Yeah.
now, yeah. So
Things we just took granted of, I guess, took advantage of, but
I know.
the small
Yeah.
things we're gonna really appreciate when they come back to
I
normal.
know. And like you don't think of them. Like I like those little things, like even like the first week that I've been home, this is really I guess I've only been home for a week
Yeah,
and taking her out, it's just not the same. And so
exactly.
I think it goes to show you this whole thing, how great a community can be, but
Yeah,
we just don't think about it, right?
absolutely.
So yeah,
For sure.
I'm definitely gonna appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for this, Jesse. You provided some really helpful wellness tips and told us a lot about what the great things you guys are doing on the Warrior Rec Instagram. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. And
No
stay
problem.
well. Stay
Yeah,
healthy.
you as well.